Over 60. The common kitchen poison destroying your nerves, not just diabetes. Hello everyone, I am Dr. David. As a geriatric specialist who has spent more than 2 decades caring for elderly patients, I stand here today to share a devastating truth that the medical industry is sometimes too busy to explain thoroughly to you. We are facing a silent crisis. More than 20 million Americans and hundreds of millions around the world are living in extreme pain from peripheral neuropathy. But the scary thing is not the number, it is the misconception. Most people, and even many of my colleagues, still believe that numbness in limbs is just a matter of old age or an inevitable consequence of diabetes. Wrong. The truth is that your nervous system is being attacked by hidden killers in your daily life. There are medications you take every morning, foods you consider nutritious, that are actually poisonous doses eroding your nerves from the inside. Today, I will expose the first toxins in the list of the 7 most dangerous names. Especially wait for number 3. It is not in the pharmacy, it is right in your kitchen cabinet. Before we dive deep into the knowledge that could change the fate of your legs, please take 2 seconds to press the subscribe button and the notification bell icon. Why? Because your nerves do not have time to wait. When the first symptoms appear, it means you have already lost a significant portion of your recovery capacity. Please leave a comment. I am determined to protect my nerves, so we can create a healthier community. Now let's begin. Toxin number 7. Statins, a high price for a healthy heart? We start with one of the most common groups of drugs in medical history, statins. Currently, more than 40 million people are using drugs such as atorvastatin, Lipitor, simvastatin, Zocor, or rosuvastatin, Crestor. As a doctor, I do not deny the role of statins in reducing the risk of stroke and heart attack. But what the user manual or the prescribing doctor rarely explains to you is the self-destruction mechanism it inadvertently causes to the nervous system. Imagine your nerves are sophisticated electrical wires running throughout your body. For signals from the brain to reach the toes in a flash, these wires need a perfect insulating sheath called the myelin sheath. What is this myelin sheath made of? 70% is lipids, fat, and the core component is cholesterol. Statins work by inhibiting the HMG-CoA reductase enzyme in the liver to prevent cholesterol production. When you lower cholesterol to extreme levels, you also cut off the supply of materials to maintain the myelin sheath. When the insulation is worn away, nerve signals will leak, short-circuit, or disappear completely. That is when you start to feel the first tingling sensations. Every nerve cell is a machine that consumes a huge amount of energy. They use up to 70% of their energy, ATP, just to operate the sodium-potassium pumps to maintain life. Statins inadvertently block the production of coenzyme Q10, CoQ10, the essential battery for mitochondria to create energy. When CoQ10 is lacking, nerve cells fall into a state of starvation. They no longer have the strength to transmit information or the power to repair themselves. Research in the journal Neurology indicates that about 2 to 5% of statin users develop clear neuropathy, but the actual number may be much higher due to misdiagnosis as aging. Damage from statins usually occurs extremely slowly, sometimes taking 5 to 10 years to manifest. Symptoms usually begin with numbness, tingling, or burning in the toes. We call this stocking distribution. You may feel as if you are walking on cotton, or the skin on your feet becomes so sensitive that even a thin blanket touching them feels painful. Advice: if you are taking statins and have these symptoms, do not stop the medication on your own. Discuss with your doctor about supplementing CoQ10, 100-200 mg/day, or switching to alternative lipid management methods. Protecting the heart is important, but keeping your legs to walk is equally important. Toxin number 6. Chemotherapy. When life-saving medicine becomes nerve poison. If statins are a silent attacker, chemotherapy is a direct storm. Chemotherapy-induced peripheral neuropathy, CIPN, affects 30% to 70% of cancer patients. This is one of the side effects that haunts patients the most, even causing many to give up halfway through the battle for life and death. Peripheral nerve cells have very long axons, some as long as from the spine down to the big toe. To maintain life for that distant tip, the cell body must send proteins and nutrients through a highway system called microtubules. Chemotherapy drugs such as paclitaxel, Taxol, or vincristine work by attacking fast-dividing cells, like cancer. However, they also attack this microtubule system. As a result, the Silk Road is cut off. Nerve endings in the hands and feet are starved, shriveled, and die gradually. Platinum-based drugs such as cisplatin or oxaliplatin are even more devastating. They penetrate the dorsal root ganglia, which contain the sensory nerve cell bodies, and bind tightly to DNA, preventing the cells from repairing damage. When the command center is damaged, the entire nerve fiber collapses. What breaks my heart most when treating cancer patients is the coasting phenomenon. You have finished the last round of chemotherapy, you celebrate the victory over cancer, but then 2 months later, the numbness in your legs becomes worse. Why? Because the toxin still accumulates in the nerve tissue and continues to destroy even though the drug has stopped entering the body. Some of my patients permanently lose the ability to button a shirt or cannot walk steadily due to loss of balance, loss of proprioception. Currently, there is no magic drug to reverse CIPN, but early detection is the key. If you feel numbness in your fingertips or toes right after the first cycle of chemotherapy, report it immediately to your oncologist. Reducing the dose or extending the interval between injections can be the line between recovery and permanent disability. Dear friends, we have just gone through 2 representatives from the medical cabinet. But do not breathe a sigh of relief yet if you are not using statins or chemotherapy. Next in the program, we will step into a more familiar area but one full of dangers. Your kitchen cabinet and your eating habits. They hide behind happy parties, delicious-looking dishes, or even everyday items that you do not suspect. Toxin number 5. Alcohol, a rusty blade cutting nerve fibers. We often hear that drinking alcohol harms the liver. True, but as a geriatrician, I must add, alcohol is a direct poison to nerve cells. Alcoholic neuropathy affects 25% to 66% of chronic alcohol users. It is not just a temporary feeling of being drunk. It is a pincer attack that leaves your nerves with no way out. Direct attack, ethanol, alcohol, and its metabolites such as acetaldehyde are toxic substances. They create a storm of free radicals, altering the structure of the nerve cell membrane, making this protective layer weak and fragile. Starving the nerves, alcohol paralyzes the intestine's ability to absorb B vitamins, especially vitamin B1, thiamine. Thiamine is the main fuel for nerves to convert sugar into energy. Without B1, nerve cells fall into a state of being both beaten and starved. When there is no energy to maintain the sodium-potassium pumps, nerve cells will trigger a programmed cell death mechanism. My patients often come to the clinic with gaunt faces due to insomnia. They say, "Doctor, I feel as if I am walking on hot coals every night," or "Every time my feet touch the floor, I feel like thousands of shards of broken glass are piercing the skin." This is a sign of damage to small fiber nerves, small fiber neuropathy. These fibers are responsible for transmitting pain and temperature sensations. When they are destroyed by alcohol, your sensory system is completely disrupted. Phantom pain appears continuously, while the ability to perceive reality decreases. Toxin number 4. Heavy metals, silent invaders. Do you believe that you are carrying lead, mercury, or arsenic in your body? Most people shake their heads, but clinical reality shows a different result. Heavy metals are silent accumulators. They do not kill you immediately, but they damage you slowly. Mercury has an extremely strong affinity for fatty tissue and the nervous system. Source: deep-sea tuna, large mackerel, swordfish. These premium dishes contain high levels of methylmercury due to ocean pollution. Also, look in your mouth. Old silver gray amalgam fillings continuously release mercury vapor every time you chew hot food. Consequence: mercury destroys important enzymes, causing tremors, loss of balance, and widespread numbness. Lead, found in old wall paint, rusty water pipes, or contaminated soil. Lead especially likes to attack motor nerves, causing wrist drop or foot drop in adults. Arsenic, found in unfiltered well water or accumulated in rice, if grown on contaminated soil. It causes skin pigment changes and a burning sensation in the soles of the feet. Diagnosing heavy metal poisoning is very difficult because they do not stay in the blood for long but go straight into the bones and nerves. If you have neuropathy without a clear cause, request a 24-hour urine test or a hair test. Toxin number 3. The killer in the kitchen cabinet: sugar and refined carbs. This is the most important part of this entire program. Please stop everything you are doing and listen carefully. Most people think, I don't have diabetes, so I don't need to worry about sugar. This is a deadly mistake. Research shows that even if you are only at the prediabetes level, meaning your blood sugar is slightly high, 50% of your nerves have already begun to be damaged. Have you ever seen someone melt sugar into a dark brown color to braise meat? That process is called caramelization. In our bodies, when the concentration of sugar in the blood is continuously high, sugar will bind tightly to proteins and fats in the nerves through a process called glycation, creating toxic products called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. Imagine AGEs are like a type of super glue or rust. They harden the microscopic blood vessels, vasa nervorum, responsible for nourishing the nerves. When the blood vessels are clogged, the nerves lack oxygen and die gradually. Sugar is truly burning your nervous system from the inside. Sugar is not just white sugar. It is in white bread, pasta, white rice, refined carbs. Bottled sauces, ketchup, salad dressings contain a lot of sugar. Sweetened yogurt and natural fruit juices. The average American consumes 17 teaspoons of sugar a day, 3 times the recommendation. The human nervous system has not evolved to handle such a huge amount of sweet toxins. Toxin number 2. Fluoroquinolone antibiotics, the death pill. There is a very common group of antibiotics: ciprofloxacin, Cipro, levofloxacin, Levaquin. You may have taken them for a urinary tract infection or sinusitis. In 2016 and 2018, the FDA, U.S. Food and Drug Administration, had to issue the highest black box warning. Why? Because these drugs can cause permanent peripheral neuropathy after only a few doses. Their mechanism is to directly attack the mitochondria energy factory of the nerve cell. For some people with sensitive genes, this damage is irreversible. Never use this group of antibiotics if there are safer alternatives. Ask your doctor, is there another non-fluoroquinolone antibiotic to treat this condition? Toxin number 1. Chronic inflammation, the fire that burns the nerves. We come to the number 1 position. It is not a specific substance, but a state of the body. It is a state of systemic inflammation that takes place silently year after year. Industrial vegetable oils, oils such as soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil contain too much omega-6. When the ratio of omega-6 is too high compared to omega-3, your body is like a pile of dry wood, just waiting for a spark to ignite inflammation. Sedentary lifestyle. When you do not move, blood is not circulated to the furthest limbs. Oxygen does not reach the nerves, causing them to suffocate and be easily attacked by free radicals. Inflammatory molecules such as cytokines, TNF-alpha, IL-6, act like corrosive acids, damaging the blood-nerve barrier, allowing other toxins to penetrate deeper into the core of the nerve fiber. Can nerves recover? The answer is yes, but you must give them optimal conditions. Remember, nerves only grow back about 1 millimeter per day. Patience is the key. Step 1. Cut off the source of toxins, elimination. You cannot put out a fire while still pouring oil on it. Stop sugar and refined carbs immediately. Say no to alcohol, not even a drop during the recovery phase. Review your medication cabinet with a specialist. Step 2. Provide recovery materials, supplementation, alpha-lipoic acid, ALA. This is an antioxidant superhero. It can dissolve in both water and fat, helping to go deep into nerve cells to clean up free radicals and improve blood flow. The recommended dose is usually 600 milligrams per day. B12, in the form of methylcobalamin. Do not use the cheap cyanocobalamin form. The methyl form is the form the body can absorb immediately to regenerate the myelin sheath. Benfotiamine, a fat-soluble form of vitamin B1, helping to protect nerves from the harmful effects of sugar much more effectively than regular B1. Step 3. Movement and stimulation. Movement. walk gently, practice yoga, or use foot massage therapies to stimulate blood circulation. Blood is the vehicle carrying materials to rebuild damaged nerves. Dear friends, you are no longer an innocent victim of time or age. Now, you clearly know who your enemy is. Nerve recovery is not a sprint, it is a marathon. You may not feel the numbness disappear immediately tomorrow, but if you cut out sugar, supplement correctly, and exercise, every day your nerves will grow 1 millimeter of light. Are you using any medication or do you have any habit in the list of 7 toxins above? Please honestly comment below. The community and I will discuss and support you. If you find this knowledge helps you rethink your health, please like and share this video strongly. Out there, many people are desperate because of nerve pain without knowing the cause lies right in their own kitchen cabinet. Do not forget to press subscribe because in the next video, I will guide you through a 7-day golden menu to revive peripheral nerves. Thank you for listening. I am Dr. David. See you in the next programs.